Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jorge Estrada, DC of MUTATIO FORMULAE, owner of MUTATIO FORMULAE LLC. Tonight is a groundbreaking, earth-shattering night. You know, for those of you who've kept up, who are following, this is a major one tonight. So, in September of this year, I was invited to the New York Fashion Week show in Westchester County because I assembled the greatest recording team roster of all time. Out of my city of DC, 20 plus masters, legends, and greats, visionaries and pioneers and forefathers and activists who did everything you could think of musically, with over 140 plus superstars, icons, legends, superstars, and moguls, who sold a combined total of 6.5 to 7.5 billion records since the time of Chuck Berry, the forefather and godfather of rock and roll. And I went to the Fashion Week show courtesy of Lena Shockley of Mountain Dog Management out of Colorado. God bless you, Lena. It was a blast. And then I had an incredible woman who will remain anonymous, who's a direct link to Nile Rodgers, the man who produced Like a Virgin for Madonna, Notorious for Duran Duran, Let's Dance for David Bowie, Diana for Diana Ross, and who was in the Honey Drippers, Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin's band, after Robert Plant and Led Zeppelin broke up. And, you know, she talked to me during the after party at the Fashion Week show, and now we're connected, and I'm getting it all together for her. And then the chairwoman of DC Legendary Musicians Incorporated herself linked me up with a DC music legend at the very top, Mr. Gregory Lamont Gaskins. Mr. Gregory Lamont Gaskins was the backup guitarist for the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. He was also the guitarist and band leader for the Sweet Inspirations, who were the all-female backup singing group of Aretha Franklin that would later go on to become the all-female backup singing group of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. So they went from the queen of soul to the king of rock and roll, and in between they laid down backup vocals for the Jimi Hendrix Experience and their album Electric Ladyland and the song Burning of the Midnight Lamp. Mr. Gregory Lamont Gaskins also played guitar for the Manhattans. He also played for the Reverend Al Green at the Apollo Theater. And as if though that isn't enough, I'm in his presence right now. We're in his apartment. Here he is playing, doing what he's been doing for decades at the very top level, playing his guitar. There he is, Mr. Gregory Lamont Gaskins. There he is, Guitar Greg. He's played with the best of the best. We're here at his place in the heart of DC. I'm here with him. And to make a long story short, after the New York Fashion Week show, I got a call from a chief financial officer tied to Atlantic Records, Capitol Records, and all the other major record labels. And we met up at the Howard University homecoming, the 22nd of October. And I gave him a quick on-the-fly, quick on-the-go mix CD of me singing and rapping over cover songs. And he liked one of the covers I did, and he wants me to do a remake of that cover of Rod Stewart's song Passion. And he liked the 50 Cent song that I rapped over. And he learned of my greatest recording team roster, and he learned of me through Mark Rowe. I want to give a shout out to Mark Rowe of Soul Central Magazine out of London, England. Mark Rowe, I love you, and I'll never forget what you've done for me, especially when you gave me that massive endorsement and stated on the 23rd of April 2015 in the May 2015 edition of Soul Central magazine that my album was going to make history one day and that my roster was filled with legendary entertainers. And it's all true, and it's only gotten bigger. So, that chief financial officer tied to Atlantic and Capital also asked me to put together a letter of intent. He said, I want you to get, if not all, as many members of the greatest recording team roster of all time that you spoke of and posted about. I want you to get their signatures on the letter of intent so we can go ahead and use that as leverage to successfully nab you a record distribution deal with Atlantic or Capitol or any other label. Okay? So, since then, I got my letter right here. I've typed my letter, see? There's my letter right there. There's my letter right there. I typed it. I can read it out loud to you. As a matter of fact, I will. But before I read this, I want you guys to know that the former personal drummer of James Brown, Mr. Robert Mousy Thompson, placed his signature on this groundbreaking, earth-shattering, historic letter of intent. So did Julian Jr. Marvin, former lead guitarist of Bob Marley and the Wailers. And now I have Mr. Gregory Lamont Gaskins. Not only is he willing to play on my material for my debut album, but we may even be working together as long as he will have me on vocals on his songs. I will do vocals, and we're going to do covers of Elvis Presley with Elvis's former guitar player on rhythm guitar and me on lead vocals. Alright, and he's even got a song that he wrote in honor of the king of pop, the irreplaceable, untouchable Michael Jackson. And he'll play that for you in a little bit. And while he's fiddling around, oh well, he can play that right now while I'm doing this here. I'm going to read my letter. I'm going to read my letter of intent while he plays his song in honor of Michael. So, today on the 19th of November, circa 2016 AD, I, Jorge Estrada, DC, A.K.A. Mutatio Formulae, am proud to announce and state for the record in writing that I am single-handedly, strictly, and solely responsible for self-amassing and assembling the greatest recording team roster ever put together by one man, by one lone outsider, by a solo recording artist ever throughout the entire history of time, space, music, magic, and life on Earth, which is my recording team roster based out of my city of DC.
Michael in the house, y'all. Stay forever, stay. Justice for Michael. He'll be back someday.
Yeah.
Michael.
Which is my recording team roster based out of my city of DC. The unprecedented, unparalleled, super epic, historic, legendary Jorge Estrada DC, A.K.A. Mutatio Formulae, Music Magic recording team roster. This roster is comprised of 20 plus music history legends, masters, greats, forefathers, activists, pioneers, and visionaries who have played with, recorded with, toured with, were bandmates with, wrote with, produced with, were close friends of, or are still tied to over 140 plus superstars, icons, moguls, and legends who combined have sold an overall total of 6.5 to 7.5 billion records worldwide since the time of the forefather and godfather of rock and roll, Mr. Chuck Berry. Oh, Michael. This is for Michael. This is for Michael. The 140 plus, both living and dead, superstars, icons, moguls, and legends that my recording team roster members did all with musically speaking also make up a very long, vast list of the following. A. Rock and Roll Hall of Famers and nominees. B. The list of the highest selling recording artists of all time in all genres. C. The list of the greatest albums and songs of all time in all genres. D. The list of those with the highest total number of hit singles in the top 100. This is just Michael. For Michael. This is for Michael. The top 40. The top 20, the top 10, the top 5, and number 1s. E. The list of those with the greatest number of gold, platinum, multiple platinum, diamond, nationally and globally certified RIAA records and songs of all time in all genres. F. The list of those with the highest total number of awards, honors, tributes, and nominations from number 1, the Grammys, number 2, the American Music Awards, 3, BET, 4, VH1, 5, MTV, 6, Billboard, 7, Soul Train, 8, the Tony Awards,
Stay forever, stay.
9, the Emmys,
Justice for Michael. He'll be back someday.
just Michael.
This is
For Michael. Michael. Yeah. Number 9, the Emmys. Number 10, the Golden Globe Awards. 11, the International Horror and Sci-Fi Film Festival Awards. 12, the Oscars. 13, the Telly Awards. G, the list of the most celebrated icons in modern music history ever, who were all and each deemed the official forefathers, godfathers, godmothers, queens and kings of their respective genres, and in each and every popular music genre historically, and on documented records such as this one. This is all real.
That's a thrill.
H.
Angels in the sky.
Yeah.
Valerie.
Mr. Gregory Lamont Gaskins, former guitarist of the Manhattans, former band leader and guitarist of the Sweet Inspirations, and for the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, live in the flesh with yours truly, Jorge Estrada, DC of Mutatio Formulae. Now let me get back to my earth-shattering, groundbreaking letter of intent.
He'll be back.
The list of the most celebrated icons. G. The list of the most celebrated icons in modern music history ever. Alright, I already said that. H. The list of the recording artists with the highest total number of songs of theirs to be sampled by other members of the major recording industry of America for their song use and purpose, and as well to be featured, requested, or played on number 1, major motion picture film soundtracks and movies. 2, television programs, theme songs, and sitcoms. 3, television commercials. 4, inaugurations, parades, and events
One time.
of historic pertinence and significance. 5, private parties, college campuses, and dormitories,
Two times.
and commercial office buildings, and on their floors, halls, and elevators. 6. Along with radio play requests and airtime and records of theirs, sitting inside of personally owned and operated motor vehicles and residential household living and bedrooms